Item 8, approval of the purchasing needs of 8.1, the biddable items. I'll list them and then ask for a motion and discuss it. Wait a second. IT, a security assessment, we postponed that one until August. So we're looking at tonight the printing of the credit class schedule, the audio-visual design services, the athletic wood floor refinishing, and the last item is the elevator cylinder replacement. And I have a motion for those 4 items, please.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Now discussion.
On 8.1, the printing of the class schedule, in the explanation of the purchase, it says the college returned to the printing and mailing of class schedules earlier this year based on community requests and blah, blah, blah. How are we tracking community requests with this?
We've been getting a lot of feedback from people calling in, primarily to admissions, looking for that information. So I think one of the things we wanted to do was scale it back. It is by far the largest marketing piece we do. So
I mean, we
I
get
don't know.
100 people calling, we get 5 people. I mean, what are we, how are we measuring this? Good question. Yes.
I don't have a number for you, Barb. I don't know how many people have called in.
So we're basing this on somebody saying some people called in. That's the only thing we're basing community requests on.
Well, we tried a very short book in the fall, and it didn't seem to give, people didn't even know it got to them, because when we took all of that out of it, the reaction from folks who got it in the mail, my wife included, thought it was some kind of a promotional piece and not the registration piece that we wanted, because
Yeah.
they've been programmed.
It wasn't a call to action. The course listing is a very clear indication that it's time to register for courses.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get at what is the mechanism we're using when we make a statement, how are we tracking it?
I understand.
Is it 5 people, is it 500 people?
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't want to give you a number because I don't have it exactly.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, just a question, because we're going down in price, the 43,000, when we budgeted more. Have we gone down in the number of households we send this to? I'm just curious. I mean, I know enrollment's gone down and we're working on increasing enrollment. Are we targeting people, or is it kind of a scattergun, everyone gets one?
Obviously, this isn't my
Yeah.
area of
Oh,
expertise.
sorry.
Erica, who does this go out to?
So it goes to everyone
In the county?
in the
Household,
county.
every household.
253,000.
In our district. Okay.
How many?
253,000.
Well, everybody knows about the college, so.
Roll call.
Mr. Conaghan?
Aye.
Ms. Paul?
Aye.
Dr. Kerrigan?
Aye.
Ms. Kashgari?
Aye.
Dr. Griffin?
Aye.
Ms. Holland?
Aye.
Mrs. Oilschlager?
Aye.
8.2 is the non-biddable items. First one, statistical analysis software license, the annual computer equipment purchase, the annual server purchase, the annual networking purchase, security camera maintenance, networking equipment for the master plan, maintenance contract for electronic box system, 0%, various supplies, IT software licensing, maintenance subscriptions, project management services, environmental services. I have a motion for those,
So,
please. Is there a second?
second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these IT purchases, and it's reminded me of like the comment that after a while it gets to be real money. And, I mean, because there's big figures here, and other than the last, not the disposables, I'm not concerned about that, but other than the one where there's all these licensing contracts, and that's real clear and specified, there's just big numbers thrown around here, $500,000 here, and
I added them up, it's about 4 million.
Right, and then I did read integrated technology plan report just recently that said that, you know, so many of our students have their own computers and compared to other schools, more of them do than other schools, and they're not all using computers at the school, and I'm just wondering, is this just a broad brush now when we're in years of austerity? It looks to me like, whoa, I don't know how carefully this is drawn, and I don't know, so maybe somebody can educate me.
So there should have been in your packet details to support each one of these IT numbers. If you don't have that, I can provide it for you now.
We don't get that.
There's not a whole lot of detail here.
No, we never get that.
Well, I guess
We
I would
don't need
also ask,
detail like that, but still.
you know, I mean, this is sticker shock, it's like $4 million. I guess I would be helpful for me to know how this compares with previous years. I've never, in the 26 years I've been on the board, I've never seen this huge of a dollar amount come to the board like at one time like this, so I guess that I kind of had sticker shock on this.
Is it 4 million or is it 2.3?
Are you including the maintenance?
I'm looking at 8.2, the non-biddables, which is what the motion is on the floor.
Some of these are
Asking
yours,
us
some are not.
to approve it is about $4 million.
There's maintenance and there's software licensing and there's all kinds of things in here. It's not just all equipment.
But it's not just your, even Granger is 300,000.
Okay, understood. So
Yeah, I mean,
what I'm passing
computer
along-
equipment's $580,000, yeah, so I mean, it's $4 million, trust me, I added
Oh, you mean the previous?
it. 8.2.
And what is she passing this one?
So what I'm passing along is the support for the HP equipment, the server equipment, and the networking equipment. So this is the support for those numbers.
So it's for, well,
This is the HP,
that's
this
not,
is
that's identified by us.
A2.
Let's see.
It's
Okay.
for what?
Yeah.
This is 8.2.
May I approach? Sure. Is it for this one?
2.2. She's doing, she's pushing this one, she's
See,
adding all
but we're gonna get bits and pieces, this isn't gonna happen.
Oh,
She's having the
This
actual.
is
this
our
one.
number.
She's
Okay, I'm not sure this is a productive way to do this.
No,
We're getting bits and pieces.
And this is not a productive way, so thank you for helping, but this is not good.
No,
Why are you waiting to this time to bring all this forward?
to bring this every year.
Well, we're doing, one report we're doing is the first time, instead of bringing a series of separate reports for these various IT maintenance agreements, we're bringing them all into one report so the board can see them as a whole, not in a piecemeal fashion.
Which isn't going over so well, by the way.
So we should go back to the piecemeal
Well,
part.
But the other boards I've served under, they appreciate seeing the full picture when they're voting on technology matters.
You're giving your feedback.
And so, vote on it, don't vote. I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot of money. We spend a lot of money on technology.
And the nice part about tying it in with the day when we're presenting on technologies, you're getting the CIO's perspective on what we're doing and how we're spending, and then you get a chance to actually see.
It's just a little bit for us to
What's
take
the-
in at one
well,
time.
the
It is,
maintenance,
it is.
well, plus they're all non-biddables as well, which, I mean, I understand that certain items don't have to be bid. But when we're sitting here as board members and we approve in the previous item $350,000 for biddables, and then we turn around and approve $4 million in non-biddables, it makes me take a step back to want to question the $4 million that didn't even get bid.
Sure.
Let me ask this, how much, what's the increase this year over last year, Lynn?
Well,
Last
she won't have the full
year, I won't
picture,
have- I
she's
only have my
just, she's only
numbers.
got her piece.
Yeah, yeah. On servers, we spent about 90,000, on computers were 600,000, and network equipment was around 200,000.
Well, it looks like, is this 2,307,000 for the maintenance on page 100 and 101 where you break out all the maintenance? That's all the maintenance for the,
That's all the maintenance for the
Okay.
entire year.
and that, I mean,
And
that
that
makes
includes everything
sense.
under 25,000 as well.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Maintenance and licensing, that part makes sense.
Does all of this have to be spent, or does all this have to happen today? Is there a reason all of this is,
Well, we're
Given
on the
to us
July
today.
meeting, so we're trying to get some of the July work.
my question is, do we have to pay the $80,000 this month? Do we have to pay the $580,000?
We need to do the 80,000 this month. That's for SPS, IBM maintenance agreement for research.
And we don't need to go
That
through
contract
each and
expires at
every
the end
one
of-
of these. The question is, out of this $4 million, what do we have to do today?
We need to do item number 3.
Three, what is three?
That's the server purchase.
Okay,
Where's the IBM one? That is
IBM is number one.
number 1.
software license. Okay,
What about the networking equipment?
That is the annual computer equipment purchase. I'm assuming that is item 2. Does that need to go, Lynn?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
The security camera maintenance?
I'm assuming that's a yes.
And then, what are we doing then? Are we bringing back the others? And
well, I don't know what we just.
No, later.
I'm just curious.
Hang
I was just questioning what
hang
we
on,
paid.
Hang on a sec, what does the board want to do here? Do you want to hold this whole thing till August?
Well, I'm just trying to get the ones that need to be voted on when the contracts expire.
Yeah, I don't
We
think,
understand, but really, this is,
Why don't you prioritize, put those in some sort of priority order, and we'll deal with this on other matters.
Okay,
okay.
We should work on that.
gotcha.
And then we'll revisit this.
Okay.
Can you ask a question
Sure.
about, do we like the fact that this has all been consolidated like this? Does the board like it, or would you prefer it be piecemeal?
Well, I think you will, I think we'll take the poll on board when we come back to the other matters and give them direction on that. But I think the answer to your question, other speakers, no, we do not like it elsewhere.
Is there a problem that we can't hold the board now, as far as just theoretically? Do we
Yeah.
like it coming together like this in big picture, or do we want piecemeal?
Yeah, well, you can ask. What would you guys like? Barb?
Well, I'd like to see us approving of whatever items we need to approve of at this particular time. I don't want us approving, I don't like approving stuff that's not gonna happen for 2 months or 3 months or whatever. I would prefer seeing whatever it is that this board needs to approve so that the college functions, without interruption. I don't believe this whole list is.
Okay.
As a financial planner, no, I don't like piecemeal. I like to see the big picture, the big package. You guys are already overwhelmed by this number. This number is still real. So you're either gonna get the number piecemeal monthly and not really have any idea of what the total picture looks like. So when we come back here next year, we get overwhelmed by another $2.3 million figure. Or we can start to really put big boy pants on and say, okay, this is a big number. Does this make sense? And are we going to pay for it? I mean, that's just my take on it. I like the big number so that we can understand what this actually means for the college as a whole, and not just try to pay bills at the end of the month.
So you're okay with the way it's presented?
I'm okay with the way it's presented. I do think we should have a discussion if we are spending more than the return on investment, basically. We should have that conversation. But these numbers are not going to go away just because we don't like to see them in a big chunk. They're still there. We still got to get paid.
And let me clarify, I don't mind seeing them in a big chunk. It would have been great to have a report that said, hey, this is all of the stuff that we need to pass or we need to look at doing over the next 3 months or something like that. But I don't like approving of items that don't need to be approved of at this particular board meeting. We're in one of the worst financial crises of the history of the College of Lake County, and for us to have the big picture obviously is a good thing, but I don't think we should be approving of expenditures that we don't need to be approving of at this time.
Pardon me?
Any comments, questions on that?
Yeah, I agree with both points of view. I like seeing the big picture so that we know what we have out there, we know what we're going to be looking at. And I think it's a good idea for us to see the thing as a whole, but I also agree with Barb that we should be presented with it as a whole, but then told what has to happen exactly, just like we did when we were looking at the
Yeah, you can
buildings.
do that.
You know, here's what we have to have in order to get through the next 2 or 3 months. Here's what can wait for however many months. Here's what's critical to get school started for the fall.
So if you look at agenda item number 10, there's a due date column where she's identified when these amounts are required to be approved. So there's July's, there's August, there's September, so.
But that's all the maintenance and licensing.
But
So-
that's just an example
But as,
of.
yeah, and as the equipment, I'd like to see the same thing for all of the equipment stuff
Okay.
and all the peripherals.
So one thing we could do here is amend this last piece so that you would actually approve everything that was July, that's due in July,
Let's say August too, just.
and August, right, because we come back in August. So we would amend this to only have you approve the July and August items, and we'll bring you back the others. Would that be acceptable?
All right,
Sounds like,
Okay?
well, can I throw in a
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I think that there are certain parts of 8.2 that we don't have a problem with. And those are the ones, and I think so therefore the piecemeal part would be maybe take 8.2 items separately, because I don't have a problem with the licensing extensions. I don't have any problem with the Cotter Consultants Project Management Services. I don't have any problems with the environmental services, Midwest Environmental. It's when we get to the HP and CDW that we're kind of asking for more information.
Well, and those
I
would
like
be-
the idea of finding out the big picture. I like that. I do want to know that, but you do kind of also want to have an assurance that really, the budget is so constrained, are we being as careful as we possibly can? Just because something happened last year, I mean, that never is a compelling reason for me that that's what this year has to be. And I think that we're in unprecedented times. Like, no one needs to restate that. So I guess what I would like to see us do is figure out which ones of these are troublesome, because
Well,
not all
except
of
for the
them are.
July and August ones,
Yeah.
and we'll come back
Yeah,
and do
but these all, as we laid out, have to be,
Yeah, let's, Phil, you,
July.
want to work on those?
Gotcha.
Come back? All right.
so what we'll need to do here, we'll be asking you to approve these items up to page,
No, we're gonna do July and August, I thought.
right, all the July and August on that page. Okay.
Why don't you organize that, we'll hold this in abeyance, okay? We'll come back.
After closed session, maybe?
No, after closed session.
After closed
Yeah,
session.
yeah, okay.
Yes. Okay, 8.3 is disposables. We have a motion for that, please.
So moved.
Second? Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Condon?
Aye.
Ms. Paul? Dr. Kerrigan? Ms. Kashgarian? Dr. Griffin?
Aye.
Ms. Holland? Mrs. Oilschlager?
Aye.